The thing about community marketing, do's and don'ts. Conversations with B2B marketers and what truly matters to building scalable, sustainable and substantial marketing growth. I'm joined today with Mariana Abel, a native of Brazil, digital marketer by trade. Mariana has been responsible for product research and product communications, along with the development of community and content marketing programs. Welcome, Mariana.
Thank you, Sam. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Great. Tell the listeners a little bit about your background in sales and how it's informed you as a marketer.
I have a marketing background, and yes, I also had some sales experience. I used to sell remarketing tools for e-commerces to improve their results. When I did that, I had to understand what my clients were looking for at that specific moment and understand how their customers' online journey worked. So I would say this was like the real challenge about it because I had clients from different industries. So to deliver them the best result, I had to take some time to study and design a personalized remarketing strategy for each one of them. And I guess this is what I took the most from this experience as a marketer, keeping an open mind to different needs and diving into these needs to propose a solution.
And I guess part of sales is listening as well, and I guess that's a quality that is quite important as a marketer, especially in the product space. So that ability to kind of listen, I would think, is something that also informed you, especially in the product marketing side of things.
Absolutely, listening is different than having an active listening skill. So if you can do this, you will definitely absorb more insights and help your customers better. As a marketing professional, or doesn't matter what you do, being an active listener always helps.
So I guess first things first, let's talk a little bit about just what community marketing is, or a community marketing program, and how is it different to your run-of-the-mill campaign.
So community marketing is a strategy, and it brings customers together, usually over a topic that is related to the brand, or at least to how the brand would like to be perceived. And note that I didn't say something related to sales here. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that the brand is looking for something specific about how they would like to be perceived. This is quite important to be highlighted here because community, it's not about sales. It's about giving your customers a space to share and solve problems and create connections too. So I would say that if you create a proper community and actively listen to the community members, you'll save time and money and get more insights than ever before.
Yeah, I guess it's also built around a couple of key concepts that you want to create a safe space, if you like, to bring together buyers and sellers, but not into a high-pressure environment, to your point around not it being actively about selling, it's actually about solving a shared problem in partnership, if you like. Can you talk a little bit about an example that you've had some experience around in terms of building this idea of a community marketing program?
Yes, I can. Lego?
Yep. that big company. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a community called Lego Ideas. It's a members platform where you can create any Lego design you want. And if in 12 months your design receives more than 10,000 supports, like getting votes from other members, Lego will review your idea and judge if it's feasible for them to produce it and sell it. So every year they select some ideas and take them to the market. Mm-hmm. And what you can see here is literally the magic of creating a community. Because at the same time that Lego is opening a space for people that are interested on the same topic, like building stuff with Lego. They are Lego lovers, and they are sharing their experience, putting their creativity there, and being vulnerable somehow. They are also getting feedback from these members, getting new ideas, maybe making money from their ideas, right? And at the same time, these members still feel valuable and feel rewarded, because it would be an honor for them to have their idea in the market. So this is a simple way to analyze why would Lego do this, And I think this is the magic of building a community.
As an AFOL myself, a term you may not have heard of, but an AFOL is an adult fan of Lego. The interesting thing about communities built around Lego is that it's actually all about play. So it's a shared interest in play, and play is one of the ways in which we explore our imaginations or put our imaginations to work. It's actually one of the fundamentals to unlocking creativity is in play. So it is a brand that is built around the idea of play and playing together in a way that is actually really appropriate to talk about in relation to community. I guess one of the things about what you're talking about there is, and this is especially true, I think, with the pandemic, is having content, and it's actually content that forms the heart of any community marketing program. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of your content as a kind of catalyst that enables people to connect with the community?
To be more involved in the community in different ways. If you think about the pandemic, this was a good strategy for brands that had tangible products and in-person experiences or stores to keep in touch with their customers somehow. So this could be a great strategy for them. And for all other brands, if they have a community and they can provide people great content that will add value to them, they're also giving members a reason for them to stay, a reason for them to be active in that community and keep exploring and keep interested in the community. And this is vital, because once you have the members not interested or just leaving the community, it dies. So having good content, offering access to some platforms, technology, or maybe just ideas related to their shared purpose, their shared interests, can help the members to be more interactive and also interested in the community.
I guess one of the things that I've found around building community is this idea of live streams or activities that you're trying to bring together people in real time, or provide opportunity for networking in some way, shape or form. So what's been your experience of having something like a podcast or a live stream, regular live streams as a catalyst, if you like, to enable this to take place, or this community formation in the absence of face-to-face meetups?
Like live streams and podcasts as a tool. But what I perceive from members and from followers or people that are there interested in listening to what you have to say and share is that these are two powerful ways to create proximity with them. Because what's really interesting about these types of communication, like live streams or podcasts, is that you are less formal, and it tends to create an atmosphere of more intimacy with your members or followers. So they feel like they are having an exclusive chance to be closer to you, even though you're just on the other side of the screen. Maybe you're on the other side of the world at that moment, but it doesn't matter, because the feeling that it gives your member is totally different. It gives them proximity and also an excitement about what can happen. Because every time you're doing something live, it gives you the opportunity to see something new, something that is happening there in real time, and you'll be part of that moment. And this is also something that attracts people.
Yeah, I guess it's creating that sense of connection, and that's built around some form of shared interest that goes beyond a brand or a stack of technology. So your example around Lego, the reason why that community works well is that even though it's based around the brick, it's around the shared interest in play, which is important, that enables that to be sticky, if you like, or build some cohesion around it. I guess I'm curious to understand a little bit more about what are the key components to a community marketing program. And one of the things I've become aware of is that kind of the value unit is about access and connection, but access to different things. Can you talk me through some of the key components to building a community marketing program?
I would say there are 4 key components. The first one is you need to state a shared purpose. So members can have a clear reason to be part of that community and also feel that they belong to that tribe. This is something that we look for. Since we were like cavemen, we want to belong. And having a shared purpose helps us with that. The second thing is moderate it properly. So yes, building a community takes time and effort because it cannot be something automatic. You have to have someone reading and listening to the members. Also, when you moderate your community, you are keeping it safe for members to say what they want and feel that they are not being judged for what they are sharing. It has to be a safe place to teach and learn, so that's why it's important to moderate. The third aspect would be offer access to what is relevant to them. So like we said, the content is quite important here. When you offer them access to education, to resources, solutions, or even technology that can help them somehow, of course, always related to that shared purpose. Okay, don't forget that. This will add a lot of value. And it's essential that your willingness to help is constant and genuine. If your members feel that you're not there to help them, that you're there because deep down you just want them to buy something from you, be ready to lose members and lose the purpose of your entire community. And the last component I would say is important is find a way to make sure that your members feel rewarded. When I say feel rewarded, it's exactly because they don't need to be rewarded with something tangible. They just need to feel that they are being rewarded. That's how they feel they're valued in the community. And this encourages them to keep contributing to the community. So you can, for example, offer some members special badges according to how they contribute to the community and how often they are active in the community. So this can create some differentiation to their profile. And sometimes this is enough to make them feel valued. There are many ways that you can play around with this, but I would say this is the most common strategy we use. Yeah, I think there is something that is important for me to share here, and I think most professionals forget about it because we tend to focus so much on what's the outcome we'll have from this community and these members, and we forget to see them not just as members or potential customers, but as human beings. And once you see them as human beings, you start paying attention to what they really want and not just how we want to be perceived, but understand that they also want to be perceived in a certain way. Every time you have a profile with your name and maybe your picture on it, that's how you will be perceived. You won't post something random there. You will post something that makes sense to you or that gives people the sense that you want them to have about you. So it's your space to have your personal brand too. It's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I would probably sum that up as being status, or enabling people to feel like they have status. And that's actually a good segue into my next question, which was really about when it makes sense to build a community versus introduce a brand loyalty scheme. And I think that this is something that often confuses marketers and sellers alike, is the difference between a brand loyalty scheme or rewards program versus what I would describe as being a true community. I'm just interested in your thoughts on the difference between the two, and when is it appropriate to do one versus the other?
Okay, so they are quite different. Starting with their goals. When you build a loyalty scheme, you are looking for people to spend more money, or maybe not more money, but spend more often. And then they can feel that they're getting something back, So, I can feel it's worth to spend my money with you because at least you give me something back. So it's like more a commercial relation you have there, and it's not that deep. So I would say loyalty programs they aim to reward customers just because of what they are giving to the company. And when you talk about a community, it's totally different, because in this case, you will focus on reward people because they are sharing a purpose, or they are sharing the same values that you share as a brand. The community programs, they are there to be in service to a group, to help members. It doesn't care about sales, it cares about connections and purpose.
Yeah, and I guess they have to be centered. A community makes sense when there is some shared interest. And an example of a community that I'm aware of and involved with is around net zero carbon emissions, for instance. So this is something that at a country level, at a global level, is something that a lot of people have shared interest in. But if you happen to be in the power generation business in New Zealand, Australia, the United States, getting to net zero carbon emissions is actually a shared imperative that there is across that industry. So these are the sorts of things that it makes sense to build community around. So historically, it's been about professional associations. Like if I was an accountant, joining the Chartered Accountants professional association makes sense to stay up to date, stay across my profession as an accountant. But what we're seeing increasingly as digital technologies evolve is, and some of the global imperatives that there are reasons to come together around different sorts of shared interests, but also industry-based groupings. So if I happen to be in power generation, or I happen to be an online fitness trainer, for instance, I want to be able to share with my peers the experience of building an online business, or my experience of how my organization managed to get from carbon emissions at this level down to this level, or what contribution I actually made to the community from that standpoint. I wondered if you had any further thoughts around that idea.
Yeah, I would like to add the fact that when you build a community, it's likely that your community will thrive if you find a niche. When you can niche the group that you're bringing to your community, it adds value to the community automatically. Because when I'm interested in something specific, maybe it's hard for me by myself to find other people that share the same purpose or the same value. And in this case, I have someone that is building a safe space and attracting these specific people that I would love to meet and have the chance to connect with. So it gives me an extra reason to want to be part of this community and maybe even pay to be part of this community, which is sometimes a challenge for brands to convince members to be there, not just for free, but being paid members, you know. So when you can personalize their experience, when you can focus on a niche and keep adding value and facilitating their access to things that are related to their shared interests, that's where you build a community that is unique and valuable for members.
Great. So thanks, Mariana. Stay tuned for the second part of this talk with Mariana on the thing about community marketing, do's and don'ts, where we will be joined by Luke Parks to unpack some of the practicalities of building a thriving membership-based community.